Hey everybody, Captain Algebra here, and just a couple weeks ago was the Midwest Gaming Classic, and I'm here to talk about my experiences and all the games I got. Check that out after the break. Alright guys, so Midwest Gaming Classic Milwaukee, Wisconsin was April 13th through the 15th, and just like last year, it was an absolute blast. Now last year I only went for a couple hours one day, met Back in the Gamer, met Video Games Monthly, really had a good time, so make sure you check out last year's video if you haven't seen that yet, got some good pickups. But this year was even better. This year I decided to go Saturday morning and then actually stay the night, and then my buddies Zach and Seth joined us. So it was a lot of fun. So I just want to start with the people. Number one, obviously, Back in the Gamer. We became really good friends since last year. So I hung out with him and his wife Erica the whole time. Had a blast, ate together, had some drinks, played some video games. Awesome time. So as usual, Tony, thanks again. Can't wait till next year. But then this year I was also able to meet other YouTubers. Number one, John Aguilera. So John Aguilera is another Video Games Monthly subscriber. We missed each other last year. Definitely wanted to get together this year and had a great time. There's a little story coming up a little bit later about what we did at night. But he was a great guy. He actually got his Neo Geo. Make sure you check out his pickups that he got this year for the Midwest Gaming Classic. Also met Mega Dan. Awesome guy. Just very down to earth. Very cool. Just super nice. It was awesome meeting him. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to get a picture with him. Just because when he was leaving, my buddy Seth and I had to check into the room. So, unfortunately, we didn't get a picture with him. But he only lives about 45 minutes away from me. So, we're definitely, hopefully, going to get together at some point, play some video games, maybe do some live stream or something. That'd be kind of cool. So, hit me up, Megadan. Next person we met, the Game Grinder, Church. Excellent guy, very cool. Got a picture with him, talked with him a while. Really cool, down to earth, easy to talk to. Did get a picture with him, so you can see me with him and Back in the Gamer. Again, I wish I got more pictures, but just didn't get a chance to. And then also with him was Jason from Corpse Flood Gaming. He's got a very good channel. Definitely check him out. I love his retro game treasure unboxings with his daughter. It's awesome. So I hope you don't mind, Jason, but when my daughter gets a little older, I'm probably going to steal that idea and have her be in my videos. So hope that's okay. So just awesome guys. Great to meet them all. And obviously Video Games Monthly was there again. So chatted up with them a lot. Had some drinks with them. Actually hung out with them Saturday night, which we'll get to in a little bit. So it was just so much fun. Loved meeting guys, and that's probably my favorite thing about the Midwest Gaming Classic. Yeah, it's awesome going to find games, but the best part is meeting up with friends and then meeting new friends and just having a really good time. So next year I'm hoping to even go all weekend, even Friday night. So we'll see. But Video Games Monthly, so we ended up... So Saturday night, after we ate, ended up being Seth, my buddy Seth and I, and then Back in the Game, we were in my room playing some games, having some drinks. Had a very good time. But then John Aguilera and Video Games Monthly stopped in. And one of their guys passed out a little bit in the bathroom, and so we went out and hung out with them and kind of messed with him. It's so much fun. Back in the Gamer got a really good picture of it. So it was just a blast. Didn't get a chance to see them the next morning, and I can understand why. But so thanks VGM. As usual, you guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. And John, great hanging out with you too. So just all around awesome guys. Can't wait till next year. Hopefully can meet even more people. It's going to be a blast. So now, the pickups. What did I find? So hopefully you watched my top 10 wishlist games I was looking for, and I actually did a pretty good job on it. If you haven't watched it, go watch that now. So here we go. We're going to start with the LJN games, and it is official. I have finally completed the LJN quest. So I've beat Alan Jangs and Back in the Gamer, and I have gotten all 26 LJN games. So first thing I found, because the first thing I want to do is find all those games. So my buddy Zach and I were scrounging through all the NES games, not having any luck, but then found Beetlejuice. Again, no gameplay footage for this because I'm going to do a definitive list of the in order of the best LJN games. Then talking to Found Video Games Monthly, they said they had some games for me. First thing they had for me was Roger Rabbit. They also said that they had King of the Ring and WrestleMania Challenge, but they didn't have them with them, so they're going to have to send it to me. So I did actually end up the next day finding WrestleMania Challenge. And you'll notice that I'm missing King of the Ring. That's because they have not sent it to me. They're going to send it in my next VGM box. So I do have it, so I did win the competition, even though I technically don't have them all in hand right now. So back to the gamer, ended up losing. He got me some games. Alan Jenks sent me a game, so we'll get into those later. But might as well finish up the other NES games. First one got on Sunday when I was almost out of money, so I was just trying to get the most bang for my buck. So I picked up Xenophobe with the manual also for $5. This game, it's okay. I really don't like how it's only half a screen, even if you're just playing one player. You know, I can see two player, you got 1% top, 1% on the bottom. Okay, sure, makes sense. But with only one player, they've got the Sunsoft logo on the bottom, and you only use half the screen. That's ridiculous. But it's got a really weird control screen, really weird control scheme. If you get knocked down, you have to press A to get back up, or if you want to go like kneel, you have to hit A to go down. It's really weird instead of just pressing like up and down. The shooting is slow. It's not very good. You have to go around and clear all the xenophobes or all the Xenos off the ship. And once you get that, you collect this little ball, and then you finish the level. So it's okay. I think it's worth $5. Get a little bit of fun. I definitely want to try two-player at some point. And then the next game, one of my top 10 wishlist games, River City Ransom. So I want to thank VGM first because they're there with one of their vendors that helped to get them games, and so they helped get me an awesome price for the game, and I really appreciate it. Knocked about $7 off of what they were asking, so that was cool. River City Ransom's game I've heard great things about. It's part of the Kunio-kun series, and it's just always looked really cool. I love the text on the bottom. It's really funny. It's just a really fun beat 'em up. Fortunately, I'm not as impressed as I was hoping to be, and I was watching Mega Dan's video before this, and he mentioned the same thing. Not quite as good as we'd hope, but I'm hoping to put a little bit more time into it. Hopefully it'll get better, but I'm glad I definitely found it. Have a lot of fun going around beating people up and eating the food to up your stats and stuff. So it's a very interesting RPG-like game. Next, I found some Nintendo Power magazines and a strategy guide, so I like to pick those up every once in a while. So we got Donkey Kong Country 3 strategy guide. Then we've got two Nintendo Powers. We got Earthworm Jim, just because I'm a big fan of Earthworm Jim, so I wanted to get that. And then Super C, because Super C is my favorite NES, or my favorite video game of all time, so I had to have that. Next, we're going to look at some Game Boy games. So again, you saw that I won the LGN contest, so since Back in the Gamer was there, one of the stipulations was the winner would receive $10 worth of games from the other competitors. So he did end up buying me two games. First one was on my wish list, Pipe Dream. So Pipe Dream was a game I had as a kid. I'm trying to get all my Game Boy games that I had as a kid that I sold off stupidly when I was about in 8th grade. And so it's just a little puzzle game. You have a certain amount of pieces of the pipe or districts that you have to get through before the water gets out, and each time it gets tougher and tougher. So you can put pipes that don't fit off to the side, but then you lose points for it at the end. And then you can also replace a pipe with a new one, but it does take about a second, so it wastes a little bit of time. But it's not the greatest game, but again, I wanted it. Next game, Double Dragon. So this game I'm actually really impressed with. It's a lot of fun. It seems actually pretty easy compared to the NES game. Now, it's not a direct port. There are some differences in the levels, but overall it's very similar. The Lindas look different, but I think it's easier to punch and kick without them hitting you, especially like if you fight a Bobo. It's not that bad. You can actually go up to him and kick him or punch him and not have him hit you. Even the chin later on, he doesn't keep shoulder blocking you like he does in the NES version. But one thing you can do is just keep jump kicking, because the jump kicking motion is so slow that if you jump kick and hit somebody, they stand up before you land. So it's very annoying. And also if you try to jump kick a Bobo, he just gets hit. He doesn't actually get knocked over each time. So that's kind of weird, but overall I really liked it. I haven't finished it yet just because I've just been capturing gameplay footage, so I play a couple missions and then stop. But I feel like it'd be pretty easy to beat. Of course, maybe Mission 3 and Mission 4 are really tough. I don't know. So thank you, Tony. They wanted 13 for those games. I got them for 10. Appreciate it, buddy. And some other Game Boy games. We've got Wario Land 2. So I was a big fan of Wario Land. And this is very similar to that one. You start off where someone has broken into your castle and they kind of mess things up. So you have to first turn off the alarm clock and stop this faucet. So it's kind of cool. You can break through walls to find coins and stuff. And as usual, he's obsessed with treasure. It seems pretty cool. I still don't like it as much as the first one, but it's still pretty cool. And then Wario Land 3. Another good Wario Land game. Again, I feel like each one got worse than the other one. I don't like that one quite as much as the first and second, but it's pretty decent. It controls about the same, but I don't know. I have to put more time into it. And then, again, another one off my top 10 wishlist game, because it's one of those Game Boy games I was looking for as a kid. TMNT 2, Back from the Sewers. So I had this game as a kid, but I actually really didn't like it that much because I was terrible at it. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles dominated. Can run through that game very quickly. It's very easy. This one I just seem to struggle with. Now, of course, I was playing it to capture game footage, and I've gotten much better. I think it's just gotten older, and I'm a little more patient and looking for the patterns in the bosses, which I didn't do when I was younger. So very glad to have that in my system, or very glad to have that in my collection again, and look forward to going through it soon and beating it. Next, we'll go with the Super Nintendo games. First game, again, on Sunday. Just had a little bit of money left, so just looking for some games to maximize my money. So I got Gym Power, The Lost Dimension, in 3D. So this is a really cool game. I've seen people getting their Video Games Monthly box before, and it looks great. I love the parallax screening. They got a bunch of different layers as you run around, but it's actually pretty tough. There's only one-hit deaths, and so you could die pretty easily, especially since some of the enemies, appear from off screen really quickly running at you, and when you start off, you don't have that much power. Even though there's a automatic fire button, it still doesn't help that much. But you can pick up power-ups to help you, can get some extra lives, but the first level just seems to take forever. So, but I'm really liking it so far. I've just gotten to level 2 and ended up dying right away. And I had to get other gameplay footage, so I stopped. But so far, I'm really liking it. Glad I got that. Only $10. Next one, again, another game off my wish list. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. So I love the Power Rangers very much. I love the movie game on the Genesis, and I have to say I was very disappointed in this one. It is very similar in how it looks to the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the Super Nintendo, but it doesn't play as well. It is kind of cool how you pick up the power-ups, and eventually once your meter's full, you can change into your suit or a morph. And then if you get it after that, you can use a special move. But all the enemies, basically, like, the main enemies take one hit, and there's a couple other putties that might take 2 or 3 hits, but it's just 3 punches and they're done. Whereas in the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger one, you would actually do a combo, which is kind of cool. Different punches and kicks. And then you could also use your weapon in that one. In this one, you can't. So it's not as cool as the other one, and it doesn't seem to follow the movie very well, like the Genesis version did. Still excited to have it because it's Power Rangers, but overall, it's kind of a disappointing game. So then next we're going with the Genesis, and both games were off my top 10 wish list. First one, Haunting starring Poltergeist. And this one is complete in box with a very nice label. So this is a game I think I originally heard in James and Mike Monday, and it just looked really cool. You go around as Poltergeist haunting the Sardinis, I believe? Yeah, and you take over their everyday household objects and try to scare them out of the house. And so it's got a little meter in the bottom right telling you how scared they are, starting about very low to low, and eventually gets very high until they eventually run out of the house. But you also have the green meter on the bottom, which is your ectoplasm, so it goes down over time. And as you use the Frightums, that goes down. And when you run out, you actually go into this little dungeon where you have to collect ectoplasm, and once you get out, then you can go back into the house. But it's really cool. Some of them, you just jump in and jump out, and then once the person gets near it, then it goes up, or then the Frightum is used. You also, sometimes, you get a red meter that fills up, and you fly around the room, kind of scaring them, and then sometimes you can shoot things at them. Sometimes you can, like, you get this skull, and you make a really weird face to scare them. It's a lot of fun. Really enjoy it. I actually thought it was shorter than what it was. I played through the house, scared everybody out. I'm like, awesome, I won. Then I realized that they actually moved to another house and you have to do the same thing. So I don't know how many levels there are after that, but I enjoy it. And there's a 2-player mode too, so I'm really excited to try that out. And then next, again, off that wish list, Dick Tracy. Again, because it's Genesis, I want to make sure I've got them complete in box. So this was one that I originally heard from Back in the Day Gamer. He had picked it up a few months ago and he made it his pickup of the month, and it is excellent. If you haven't watched his pickup or his video on this, definitely go watch. He does a great job talking about it and showing the gameplay footage of it. So this one, you go around as Dick Tracy, and the A button shoots in front of you, the B button jumps, and then the C button actually shoots in the background. So it's really cool. You got people come at you from left and right. You got people in the background. It's just crazy, and it's actually pretty difficult, like especially to get used to those controls. And you can change them around depending on which button you want to do what. And there are some driving scenes which I haven't gotten to yet, but it's lots of fun. Then you eventually get to a boss, and you're chasing him around the stage, and he's got a health meter and stuff. But it's really cool. Definitely just have to watch out for getting cornered in a bunch of guys. So I try and take care of the guys in the back pretty quickly. But it's a great game. If you haven't tried it out, definitely check it out. So we got 3 games left, all 3 off the top 10 wish list that I wanted. First one off the GameCube, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. So no gameplay footage for this, just because the one knock on this game is it takes forever to get into it. That tutorial at the beginning takes forever, and I really didn't have the time to go through it. But this is my favorite Zelda game of all time, and I have it on the Wii and the Wii U, and I wanted the GameCube version. So finally found it, really excited to have that, and it's in great condition. And it did come complete. So then finally we got 2 PlayStation 1 games. First one, Dino Crisis. So Dino Crisis is made by Capcom. So it's a survival horror game similar to Resident Evil, except for this time you got dinosaurs to worry about. So you go around into this facility, and you see like blood trails, you see a big hole ripped in the fence, you see a guy basically eviscerated. You're like, what's going on here? And then you finally see like a velociraptor coming after, and you have to run away and get through it. So again, it's very similar to Resident Evil, the tank controls, finding stuff and be able to figure out puzzles. It's very cool. I can't wait to get more into this. But I have so many games to play right now. It's a little bit down on my list, but it's excellent. And then my number 1 wishlist game that I wanted to find, I found it. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Fortunately, it is the greatest hits version. I only saw 2 copies of this. This one and another one. They were both greatest hits. The other one was very beat up. It actually seemed like it had water damage on the label. But they were both the same price. They were $50. And so obviously I went the one that was in much nicer condition. And I have loved this game so far. Not very far in it, but it's so cool. Love playing as Alucard. I love the graphics and the fighting style. I like how they add a little bit RPG elements. Even though I'm not a huge RPG fan, it's still kind of cool. And I really like how it starts off with the final stage of Castlevania Bloodlines. Even though I haven't played that, I figured that out because it says last stage of Bloodlines. So that's really cool. They added the voice acting. It's just a really cool game. Everything that people have said about this game is true. So I can't wait to get more into it. This may become my favorite Castlevania game of all time. Right now it's Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo, but this one could take it eventually. So there you go. That was the Midwest Gaming Classic 2018 for me. Great friends, had a great time, great video games, and it was just an awesome time. Already looking forward to next year. Can't wait for it to get here to make even more memories. So thanks again, everybody. Video Games Monthly, Back in the Gamer, John Aguilera, Church from Game Grinder, Corpse Flood Gaming, Megadan. You guys are awesome. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting somebody. Just had a great time. And obviously, my buddies Zach and Seth. Thanks for joining this year. So, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of the games I got. Let me know if you were there. What were your experiences? And if you made a video, definitely let me know about it. I love seeing what other people did and what they found at the Midwest Gaming Classic. So, hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, this is Captain Algebra, signing off.